Hi, so today we're going to taste the Ryk Neethling 2016 Red Blend, and also cool to have Ryk here today, also to chat about his wine. And yeah, we're just gonna taste through it and talk a bit through the wine and the philosophy behind it.
Yeah, Renier, it's nice to be here with you. The wines at Val de Vie has been an integral part, obviously, of the estate. I think this wine cellar that we're in, not this specific building, but since I think 1829 it was built the first time, and that's when the wine was being made in the cellar. And we're obviously in the middle of the winelands, so wine is a big pillar of the Val de Vie brand. When I came here the first time to Val de Vie in 2009, I was obviously a professional swimmer, so I didn't drink a lot of wine. But I quickly fell in love with the wine, and I took a winemaking course at the University of Stellenbosch for a few weeks, and really fell in love with it. Learned how to drink wine, and that's when I decided to make my own wine. I think it's every man's dream to be able to have a wine that's named after you, and I think this is the 6th vintage. They're all kind of the same style, and I'm very honored to make it with you, and I hope it's also a wine that you consider one of your favorites.
Absolutely. Sort of specifically, just why Red Blend? Why the concept? Why when you thought of when you came into, let's almost say, the wine industry from swimming? I know you were very specific about having a sort of a Rhone style blend. Was that sort of something that was always a favorite of yours, or where did it come from?
I didn't know a whole lot about wine when I came here the first time, but so when I first came to Val de Vie in around 2008, 2009, that was the style of wine that we were focusing on here. The terroir here, it's quite similar to the Rhone region in France. Very hot in the summers, and quite cold now in the winters. So, and the soil is quite similar. So I think we had something like 11 of the Rhone varietals that was planted here, and so that was the style that we were making, and that's what I started drinking, and that's what I enjoyed. So when I had the opportunity, all the things that I did anyway when I was, all my sponsors, it had to be authentic, and I think that's one of the things about Val de Vie as well, is that it has to be authentic, and it had to be a wine that I really enjoyed and that I had input in. It wasn't just like a branding exercise where I put my name on and I never tasted it, and so I spent a lot of time here, in the cellar. I really enjoyed coming here and going through the process, and so that's why it was that style of wine. And so far it's been good. At one stage we were listed in hundreds of restaurants and stores, and then we decided just to go a little bit more boutique, but now it's growing very nicely again, and it's something that I'm very proud of.
Yeah, I must say it's actually from the winemaking side quite incredible to see from that first vintages that we tasted, and all the changes and I almost want to say the evolution of the estate itself and what it has grown into. And you can see this in the wine also. I must say from the start there was always this golden thread of, obviously there's elegance, there's quality, beautiful winemaking that took place. But it's incredible coming up into, I think you said the first vintages that you made was around 2008-9, right up until this 2016 vintage, and even the ones that's going to follow that we are excited about, and that's also here behind us in barrels. I think it's quite nice to see that evolution in the wine. I think it really evolved with the estate, which is always a good thing. You shouldn't just stay the same. You should, I think, have the golden thread of quality and excellence, but you need to build on that every vintage. And I think you can, yes, when smelling and tasting this wine, it really just shows.
No, you're absolutely right. I think the first vintage was 2009, which was a very good year. So we started off, quite well. But I couldn't, agree more with you. It's also the philosophy of Val de Vie, is just to continuously improve. never to get comfortable where you are. And I think the wine has also done that. I'm excited to taste the next vintage. We've been going through our tastings, and maybe you can share a little bit about what's to come and what will be the next vintage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For me, what is quite interestingly about this blend and sort of just to tag on about evolving, this 2016 vintage is a 50% Shiraz, 50% Grenache Noir blend, which was also barrel aged for about 16 to 18 months. About 20% of it was in first full oak, brand new French oak barrels, and then the remaining was a combination of second and third full barrels. It's a style of wine, I think, that the 2016 was a year where we had a lot of concentration and a lot of flavors. It was a year where you had to work with the season, and like we know, every season changes. I think this wine now, about 4 years later now, is really showing extremely well in the bottle. What is good about a product like this, and even though we stick to the varieties, the Shirazes, the Grenaches, the things that grows well here on the estate, what is nice about this blend specifically is like when we taste this, the different components, I think it's important to mention that we keep everything separate in barrel, and only after the aging has taken place, we get together and we taste through the different components. Every year it's going to change, which is, I think, fantastic. And I think that is where the art of winemaking comes in. It's obviously a lot of labor and a lot of science that's involved, but that art is to really not fix yourself on a recipe to say that every year it's going to be this. So really excited, I must say, for the 2017, 18 and 19 vintages is a lot different than the 16. We were in the middle of that drought season, and I'm very glad that the wine came out as beautifully as it did. I think the 2016 also allowed us to use more first full oak because the fruit was very concentrated, so we could hit it with a bit more first full barrels to get that nice oak flavors and richness into the wine. Whereas with the later seasons, I think we used a portion of more older barrels, really just to preserve that elegance and that fruit together with that structure on the palate. So I'm very excited to taste the vintages to come on this wine, and also to see what it evolved into.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm also excited, and I must say it's really nice to have you here on the estate and just to share in your passion. I think it's infectious. Maybe that's not the right word to use in the time that we're in, but it really is, and it's just a great asset to have you on and your whole team here on the estate, and it makes it so comfortable for people, and it's that real authentic, lifestyle. It's not like a marketing gimmick. This is one of the like nice cellars, and it's right in between the homes and stuff, and it's here for all the residents. So I thank you very much, and I look forward to tasting more wine with you.
Thank you, and if you like these type of videos and content that we shared with you today, please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and please leave comments below and give us feedback. Thank you.